Welcome to Droppin TV. I'm Tyler. I'm with Jason, and it's episode number 1, and we are so excited to finally be getting underway. It's been a very, very long month, and we've been doing everything you can possibly think of to try to get this around. And I mean, Jason, it's coming around, dude.
You would have never realized how much effort and work is in this, but overall it's pretty fun, and it's been a blast. I can't wait till the hunting part comes along, because that's going to be really exciting. But the preparation, Tyler, has been a blast.
We went to Denton.
That was a good day.
That was a lot of fun. We went and visited your place. We went to Todd's, Brian's last week. We also got out to my camp that my dad is actually a member of. I'm just a guest. I go along with him and hunt that property whenever he is out there. So you'll see a lot out there as well. All right, so let's go take a look at Jason's property and see what he's got.
Hi, I'm Jason. Welcome to Droppin TV. Today we're going to show you a little piece of my property. We call it the 25. Just a sweet little honey hole. I hope you guys enjoy. Any footage you see from me, well, not any, but most of the footage you see from my section of the hunts is going to be on this sweet little piece. Hope you guys enjoy. On this piece of property here, as you can see, the deer trails are real plentiful. They use them real hard, and the layout of the land is one of the main reasons why they only use specific trails. And no matter what piece of property you're on, you can always cut them down into small pieces, and they will always have specific points like these. As we're coming through this piece of property, mornings it's like damp. We can smell that the deer have been through this area. They're kind of like a wet dog. They do have a smell. So hopefully when we get up in here, I know where they like to bed. So hopefully we can get some deer on some footage here. Alright, we're on this specific piece of property. And when it comes to stand placement, this one here is flawless. The best stand placement ever. This specific piece of property, over here we have a ridge that comes down steep cliffs on one side. So the deer have to come down to this draw here. And when they come through, on the other side of the stand, there's a creek. And there's only one specific spot they can cross here. And they gotta cross this stand to get there. And if they gotta go clear up the other end of the property across the stand, they gotta run this way past the stand to get here. So no matter what deer comes through here, you're going to at least get an opportunity to get a shot. Alright, like I was saying, the deer, when they come down off this ridge, they really don't have no place to go other than past this stand. And one of my nicest bucks I've ever killed with a bow is from this stand. You come up over this little draw here, and I have a little clearing by the pine tree there. As soon as he stepped in there, lights out, dropping them. I'm going to take you over where they come down the draw and show you their main travel point to this stand. And I have another stand location to where if they don't commit to this spot, they will definitely commit to the other. And it's just one of them spots. You don't want to hang a stand because you want them to be committed to this area. And if you get them before they start splitting, they're going to have you figured out. So you just kind of figure them out and pick your poison. We're coming through here, like I said, some stand placements, they're great. You just don't do it. But as you can see, I did what you're not supposed to do because the old man, he was having a dry spell. I had to get him in there. So you can see we got some tracks coming through the food plot, which is a good thing. Food plot has not yet matured, but it'll get there before the season.
Yeah, this week it should really start to grow out because even though it's so wet, it slows it down, but it's supposed to warm up, so it's sprout out like crazy.
Alright, here's the other end of the other decision trail they have, which goes to my next best archery stand. And as you can tell, it is like a highway through here. And they just, whatever for reason, this is the only spot they like to cross at this end of the property. Since this is such a good spot and a good run for the deer, I set up a blind here for my daughter, first year with a bow, so I figured what better than a 4-yard shot for a young kid for a good opportunity. It was till the following weekend we got in here, and before we come back in to hunt, as the blind sat right here, we had a buck lay a scrape on this tree while the blind was sitting there. That would have been some easy shooting there. All right, now we're gonna go over, I'm gonna show you where I have my stand set. As you can see by the footage and the trails, you'll know why the set is flawless. As you can see, the trails are really thick. We got my stand up here, and it's kind of hard to tell on film, but when you're coming through here, you almost don't even see that stand until it's too late. The deer, it's too late for them if I decide to shoot. But being that high, I can catch enough to decide whether it's something I want to take and whether I don't want to take. And when they come through, they're committed, and for them it could be their last mistake.
I really liked what I saw. It seems like you got your good stand placement. The deer are, you can tell they're there. I mean, that path, I mean,
Crazy.
They're there. So I mean, it looks like you're going to be in for a really good season.
Yeah, what you've seen on that property, it's always been that way on that specific piece of property. We were lucky enough to get that, and it's just a natural funnel for game. Like I said, the amount of time I've spent on the property, I know how the deer move. You guys are really going to like the footage I can get, because even if I don't do any kills, I have lots of footage. That's always a plus. It keeps my day in the stand entertaining, and hopefully for the viewers, and it's just a great spot for what we're after.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about Todd's now. You've been out there, I've been out there. The only person that hasn't is Brian.
He is missing a great spot.
It is a good spot. I've been out there several times, spotlighting, and the 10, the 12, we haven't seen them yet. But I can tell you right now that if I'm out there hunting with him and I have the bow in the tree, and that 1/8 that you're going to see in this video here that we catch spotlighting, I'll kill him.
Yeah, he would be a tough one to let go by. He's impressed. Even though there's bigger bucks on that property, he's one that you'd be very tickled with.
And I was really impressed with the amount of deer that are out there.
Yeah, it's a very impressive piece of property, even though he doesn't have much woods. He has more fields than woods. But for some reason, the deer, it's almost like they're cattle. They love to be in that field. So for you guys, let's see what they have in store.
Tyler and I left the house in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania to go out to the property in northwest Clinton County, where I hunt about 8:30 or so and arrived around 10. We got things out of the car for the next day, along with a backpack full of our camera equipment, and made our way into the house and up the stairs to relax a little bit after the long drive. On the ride up, we discussed what we wanted to get for shots around the property. I knew we could make a great show this season after all the big bucks I've seen. We really didn't want to get out there this late, but once we got to the property and got settled in, we decided to do a little spotlighting around 11 that night before we went to bed. Tyler grabbed his camera, I grabbed the spotlight, and we headed down and hopped in the Rhino. We drove down and around the fields, and it wasn't long before we spotted our first set of eyes that belonged to 3 doe. We did a sweep to the right and found another doe, along with a pretty big 8. We checked him out a while, and I really think he was one of the bigger 8s around the property. Between him, the 10, and the 12, we have at least 3 great bucks to go after this year. And that's only before the rut kicks in, and even more moving into the area. We ended up seeing about 27 deer that night, mostly doe, small bucks, 2 cows, and a yearling bull. It ended up being a pretty decent night of spotlighting, and we couldn't wait to get some sleep and get started in the morning. I want to welcome you all back to the property. Today I'm going to explain to you a little bit what I plan on doing and showing you some of the hunting spots that I plan on hunting. 9 out of 10 times, all the bucks are in the fields. You won't catch them back here in the woods. They come to the fields to feed. This year I'm going to take it to the next level. What I plan on doing this year is spot and stock. It's going to be very tricky, willing to put in the time and the effort, so that's what we plan on doing this year. Woods, this is one of the best spots for a good clean doe kill out of the whole property, because you got the creek right here, you got the back side of the mountain here, which is real steep and goes up a bunch of benches, and they'll come back here in this section of woods just because they feel safe. It's really good for them to bed down. They're not pressured back here, so they're constantly traveling through here. And if I were to put a blind back here, I was thinking about putting it right back there in that corner, because you can get a clear shot right through here. And these doe are constantly traveling out of the field to come back here and bed, and they're following these trails right here. So there's a really good possibility to get a good doe kill on film right back here. All right, so we're gonna take you guys to the honey hole. Basically, it's another good spot in the woods for doe kill. A lot of doe travel through there. It's pretty open, except around the edges. There's a lot of good cover there to set a blind in there as well. Did you hear that?
Is that an elk?
You ever hear one?
No.
Never.
Never.
How cool was that?
That's freaking sweet. Where's he at?
Sounds to me like he's up on top of that back hill right there.
Over there.
Yeah. You seriously never ever got to witness that?
Never. So you say he's right
I'm guessing
up over top of the barn?
Yeah, I'm guessing he's up there in that point. This is where it sounded like it came from. How cool was that?
That's pretty sweet, dude.
Well, that's neat. Tyler's never heard of an elk bugle, so that's an accomplishment right there. That makes me excited. That's just as excited as me killing a big buck, so maybe we'll try to get up there and see if we can find him then. Alright, I'm going to take you to the honey hole. Let's go. Showing you guys some of the trails leading to the honey hole. As you can see, we're standing on them right now. They use it pretty often. It leads down to the creek, and they go across the creek and over there and up in that mountain. And then we have another one right here that runs up through here, straight past the honey hole. Branches up there and there. So let's take a walk up and I'll show you what we got. There's trails coming down from over here. There's a nice trail right here that they're using constantly. Come off top of this back hill and they'll come right around the ridge, walk right down here. Usually I'll have a tree stand. You can't see the tree from here, but it's probably about 30 yards that way. So anytime they step in the opening, it's lights out. Alright, so that sums up today's adventure with dropping them. Showed you guys the 3 hot spots that we'll probably be hunting from, whether it's the field doing the spot and stock, back in the blind, or up in the honey hole in the tree stand. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I feel like this year's going to be a successful harvest, and stay tuned. His property is probably one of the, I would say it's probably the best out of the 4 of us. I mean, I got some good property, but we don't quite know what's out there yet. The soybeans, as you'll see next week, I'm interested to see what's going on there.
Yeah, same with my property. I know we have lots of deer. I know what has always been there over the years. With everything being as thick as it is, the cornfields are up. We do have some oak trees on my property, so they do stop as you're coming through. Yeah. But there's a lot of fields you really can't check out to really know until late in the season. But when the rut kicks in, it's the place to be.
It's gonna be good out there.
That creek bottom's the place.
It looked like it's gonna be, your property is gonna be pretty good. Todd's is gonna turn out pretty
I'm tickled with it. But like I said, Todd's property, I would love to spend some time with.
Yeah, well, I plan to. Well, that's all we got for this week. Thanks for watching our first episode of Droppin' Them. We'll be back next week when we go out and take a look at my camp and take a look at Brian's place. And we're also going to take a little trip back in time to Denton. We're going to take a little peek there at a good fun time that we had there.
That was a good time.
So,
really good time.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.